Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. Please visit our website, cscatlanta.org, for a complete list of live and recorded events. We invite you to sign up for our newsletter to stay connected to all future programs.
Hello, welcome. We're making everything corn today. So we're going to do a corn soup, summer corn soup with coconut milk. So very simple. I don't put a lot of ingredients in there because we want to taste the corn, right? You make corn soup, you want it to taste like corn. So it's simply corn, little yellow onions, some garlic, some vegetable broth, some coconut milk, and cornstarch if we need it. I heard somebody talking about putting pumpkin in there. We've done that before as well as a thickening agent. You can add potatoes in there if you want it to be thicker, or cornstarch. Keep it corny. If you do the cornstarch, you just need a little bit of the dry cornstarch mixed with cold water. Remember, it's always cold water with the cornstarch into the hot liquid. So the liquid needs to be boiling for the cornstarch to thicken everything up. It actually has to be about 190 degrees for it to thicken up, and you want to cook it out. So you don't want it to taste gritty. But we're going to take a look at it. We're going to make it. We'll see if it needs thickened up. It's summertime, so I like to keep things a little lighter, brothier, if you will. So we might not add that, or we might add it. We'll see. We're just going to go along and see what happens. All right, we have a chickpea, corn, and red pepper salad. I just made this up. Actually never made this before, so we're going to make it for the first time today. I bought some fresh corn. We have some chickpeas, which we are going to use the juice from the chickpeas. If y'all have been here before, I think in the fall we made a salad dressing with the chickpea. We're going to do that again. This time I don't remember what we made last time. We're going to make ranch. I hope we didn't make ranch last time. So we're going to make some ranch dressing with that bean juice. It's called aquafaba. So it acts as like a mayo-y egg type deal. So it's going to help thicken our salad dressing without the use of all the dairy products that we would normally use in a salad dressing. So we'll see how that goes. That's definitely good. I've made that plenty of times at work as well. So we have some red bell pepper, some green onions, some honey, some lime, cilantro, some avocado. So I'll show you how to clean an avocado if you want to learn how to do that. So I think what we'll get started with first is the soup. So we're going to get the soup cooking. Very simply, we're going to add some oil to our pan, our pot, medium heat. And then we are going to dice an onion. We're going to mince some garlic, throw that in there, get that cooking. We're going to shuck the corn right into the pot. And we'll saute that. We'll add our vegetable broth, our coconut milk. We'll let that simmer. And then we will blend it up. Okay? You don't have to blend it either. If you want to leave it chunky, you can leave it chunky. It's up to you. All right? It's your choice. So what we're going to do is add a little oil. I have the recipe measured out for, that's probably enough for 4 or 5 people. I'm going to go ahead and do my thing up here like we always do and not measure anything. Just make enough for you guys, okay? So we're going to mince the garlic, and we're just crushing the garlic, and then we're just going to mince it up. We're going to puree this soup, so it doesn't have to be, all the cuts won't need to be as pretty as we would want them to be. Started my compost. I don't see my compost lady here today. I saved all the things. All right, so we just crush that up. That crush is really easy. Remember, a knife again. Thumb, 4 fingers every time. Just gonna mince that really fast. You can buy minced garlic already minced if you want to. It's not always the freshest, but they do pack it in oil, so it's not too bad. You need to keep it refrigerated, of course. Okay, there's the garlic. Easy, all right? Very simple. Onion, remember, I leave the root intact. I take off this top part, right? Then I cut it right down. what else can go in corn soup? Maybe leeks. If you wanted to use leeks in there, you can use leeks. Some people put peppers, bell peppers, in their corn soup. You can call it corn chowder if you want. Leave it, we can make it thicker if we want to. So the onion's peeled, remember, and then we're going to go this way, all the way to the back, to the root, and then this way. Again, we're not precious about our cuts today because we're gonna blend this soup. Any questions on corn soup as we're going along here? Where's the what? Shrimp. Ah, shrimp. Yeah, shrimp is pretty good. Y'all like shrimp? Love it. Yeah, shrimp's good in there too. I've made corn chowder with shrimp in it before. It's good stuff. Makes me think of shrimp and grits though. Maybe we should cook shrimp next time. I don't know if Christy will give me that kind of money or not. Yes, yes. Corn grits and polenta are the same thing. In fact, it says, I think Bob Red Mills, says right on the bag, same thing. Yeah. We're just going to sweat those onions and garlic. We don't want to put any color on them. Or if you do, you do. It's not a big deal, right? I'm not putting any color on them today. Just going to make them what we call translucent, so they're kind of clear. That's medium heat, medium high. Okay. So the corn, I shucked it ahead of time. You can see what I did there. The silk is still on there, and it's okay, right? We're going to blend the soup. The silk actually has a lot of flavor in it. Believe it or not, there's a lot of good flavor in the silk. When I was working in a restaurant, we used to shuck all the corn, and we would take the cobs and the silk, throw it in a pot with water, maybe an onion, maybe a little saffron, and we'd make a stock to make the corn soup with. There's a lot of flavor inside that stock. Corny, right? It's going to taste like corn. So instead of doing that, I don't have time today to do that with y'all, so we're going to use veg broth. But if you're at home and you don't want to waste all those cobs, throw them in a pot, just cover it to the top with water, low simmer, little onion, and you're good to go. Maybe bay leaf if you want. But remember, the more stuff you add to that, you're going to lose more of that corn flavor. So just keep it simple. Even if you just want to throw the cobs in there, cover it with water, let it simmer maybe 20 minutes. Because it's not going to take long to extract all that flavor. So veg stock never takes more than 30 minutes to cook. Right? The longer you cook it, you're starting to lose flavor. So you want to just cook it long enough to get the flavor, and you're good to go. Okay? So one of two ways, you can go right into the pot with this if you want. You can see me cutting it in the pot. Or you can get a bowl like this and do that. So I just stand it up like that with my knife and cut away. If the pot was a little wider, it'd be easier. That's what I'm talking about there. You can use those and just simmer. You don't want to use the husk, but you see the corn silk, I'm just going to throw right in there. We're going to blend the soup anyway, so it's going to blend that corn silk up, so no need to fuss about that or waste your time sitting there with trying to get all the silk out. I'm not scraping the cobs, no. You can. You can use a serrated knife if that's easier for you as well. They make a tool for that. All right. There you go. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, this doesn't take long though. Okay, one more to go. Just want to make sure I have enough for everybody. You can do it on a cutting board. If you do it on a cutting board, you know what's going to happen. You're going to have the corn all over your countertop, and it's going to fly everywhere. So I like to keep it. That's what a dog is for. There you go. Does your dog like to eat corn? Okay. There we go. That didn't take long. Okay. In we go. So we have onions, garlic, a little bit of oil. Obviously our corn. We're going to saute that. We're going to cover that in vegetable broth. We're going to let it simmer probably about 10-15 minutes while we're making our salad dressing and our salad. And then we'll finish with a can of coconut milk, and then we'll blend it. So you can blend it in a blender. You can use a stick blender if you have one of those. Those work fine. You know, based on how thick you want it. Remember, we talked about potatoes or cornstarch. You can also judge by like how much veg stock you put in there, because the corn will thicken up naturally. If you got some, you want to get really fancy, you can add some saffron to this. It adds a really pretty color. It's a little pricey, but if you had some, feel free. Okay. You don't want to burn it. It could. Again, that's going to give it a different type of flavor. The one thing I caution with making corn soup, and if you really want it to taste like corn, you want to avoid different like cumin and turmeric and things like that. You just want to keep it very simple. You want it to taste like summer corn. That's what it is. Or do whatever you want to do, right? You can. All right. We're going to add that. All right. Remember, everything's measured, right? We'll make it work. Okay. Just push down the sides. That's on medium. Just going to let it simmer. Remember to taste everything, because sometimes your veg broth might be salty. I didn't look to see what that one was. We'll taste it. And we'll finish with coconut milk, and then we'll blend it. Okay? The salad dressing. So this is the vegan ranch. We're using chickpeas today, so we have this broth in here, this brine, right? It works with white beans. I've never done it with any other beans, but that brine that comes in there is going to act as a thickener. So we're going to add, let's make sure, I know you guys call me out when I don't follow my directions. Okay. So like any salad dressing you do, we're going to need to add a little mustard. I'm making everything in this NutriBullet. Just easy, it's clean. You can do a blender. You can do it in a bowl if you want by hand. This stuff, it'll thicken up like egg whites. So if you're whisking it, it looks like egg whites in a bowl. So it's really cool to use that, especially if you're using chickpeas. I know Kip did a demo on hummus. So when you buy, if you're not cooking them like she did and you want to buy canned chickpeas, that can be used to make another dressing. And I'm using this for ranch. I've made Caesar with aquafaba, a green goddess. And that might be more what we're doing here today with the dill and the chives and the parsley all in there. So you can use it for different things. I've even seen it for desserts. I've made gingerbread cookies with it. Instead of using egg whites, I've used aquafaba, right? So we're going to add a little bit of mustard. We're going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I think some lemon. And we're going to just throw our herbs in. What I like about this is you can just throw everything right in the blender, and you don't even have to chop up your herbs, which is nice. Okay. All right. I'm just going to break them up. So that's dill, parsley, and chive. Chive I'm going to chop just a little bit. Chives can get a little funny. Sometimes they don't break down the way you want them to in a blender, and then they'll become stringy. So I do chop the chive just a little bit. You don't have to chop it fine, but that's going to give your oniony flavor, right? You can use dried onion powder, garlic powder if you want. I think this recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic. Have here. We don't need to mince it. We're just going to throw it in there. Okay. Questions? So we have our aquafaba, we have our mustard, apple cider vinegar, a little lemon juice. So here's where you have to maybe use your recipe, right? Because if you're going in here like that, if I were at home making it in a bowl, I could slowly add my oil, right? With this thing, we would want to follow a recipe, right? Just like that. What else? So we have our herbs, lemon juice, veggie oil, garlic, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of salt, and pepper. You may want more. And this should thicken up. Looks like ranch, doesn't it? Now, what other types of oil would you use? Yeah, right. Yep. Like I've said before, the expensive olive oil I probably wouldn't waste on a salad dressing. Again, it's kind of like you go back to the corn. We talked about not putting too many things with the corn because you lose the corn flavor if you start adding different spices. The same as with salad dressing and oil. So if you're using an expensive olive oil, you bought this, even this like extra virgin olive oil. I mean, it's not super expensive, but you've paid good money for it. You really don't want to waste it on a salad dressing, right? Because it's going to take away from all the herbs that you put in here, and you spent money on the herbs. You want it to taste like ranch, and now you're starting to taste olive oil because olive oil has a really strong flavor. So you would want to use something neutral like a canola oil that you talked about. Vegetable oil, grapeseed oil is nice, a little more expensive, but it works. Add a little bit more oil here. That should get us where we want to be. It's a little thin, but that's okay. Okay. That should be good. Nice. Yep. See? It's greener than ranch because it has all the fresh herbs in it, right? So you can call it green goddess if you want. There's such a thing. All right. Now we're going to make the salad. And then we'll be ready to blend the corn. Any questions? Dressing? No? You guys are getting too good. You don't even need me here anymore. All right. So the salad we're just going to throw together in a bowl. Then we'll pour the ranch over top. We'll season it up. It'll be ready to go. Corn's doing well. Smells good. Okay. Back to the same bowl. Corn. Again, I might take some of the silk off for the salad if I can. Use a towel. Wipe it off if you want. So we're not going to blend the salad, so we don't want all that corn silk in our salad. So with the salad, this is where you have the ability to put in whatever you want, whatever you have. It's summertime. Maybe you're growing different things in the garden. Feel free to experiment. This, I'm making raw corn. We're going to eat raw corn because I think corn in the summertime is pretty tender as it is. If you don't like raw corn, I would suggest taking this cob, maybe throwing it in the oven about 25 minutes. It'll get nice and brown, 400 degrees. Take it out of the oven, then you can shuck it. It's cooked, right? You can grill it. That's what we do at home. Sometimes we grill corn. I just take the whole, just like that, throw it on the grill, turn it every 10-15 minutes, and it's nice. It's done. So that's another option. Making this a day before would be helpful as well if you want. If you don't want ranch dressing, you can use your favorite salad dressing that you have if you bought it one. I know we've made quite a few here, so you probably have enough recipes for salad dressing. Questions? You guys are so quiet today. You're hungry? Is that what it is? Okay. I'll accept that. Got one more. That one's not good. Sometimes you run into that where the corn is not as good. Okay. Bell pepper. I'm going to do that. When I cut pepper, I cut right in half. Then I take that out like that. Because, you learn in a restaurant quickly how to do things to save the most amount of money. So maybe you've seen people cut peppers like that. Then you're wasting that whole top, right? If you're cutting right there, you're wasting all that stuff. So we just take the stem off like that. Knock the seeds out. I take that white rib out, especially if it's a hot pepper. That's where all the heat is. Obviously, this pepper is not hot, but if you're dealing with jalapenos or something, you have that rib in there. There's a lot of heat in there. If you remove that, you can save yourself some pain. If you like hot peppers, this is a good salad for that. You can put a half a jalapeno in there or something. Spice it up a little bit. We're just gonna dice this. So you saw how I cut the pepper. And then I just lay it flat. I make little strips. Those are called julienne cuts, if you want to be fancy. Okay. Now, all right. Then I cut this way. We're going to dice these. Try to make everything similar. Red onion would go really well in here. I bought a green onion for today. Try to mix it up and show you guys different things, how to cut different things. But again, all these recipes are, you can change it up however you want it to be. If you don't like red pepper, you got a ton of green peppers, go for it. Nothing set in stone. Some green onion. Just take the root off. I usually cut halfway. Cut those in half. That way you keep everything the same size. You don't want big chunks, so make everything the same size. Everything will eat better for you. And then I just dice that up. Okay. There's your green onion. Limes. Remember, we don't waste the flesh, right? Microplane. Just gonna zest that. Take two. Anybody make the squash salad that we made last time? Nobody made the squash salad. What am I doing here? Do you guys cook? Okay. Yeah, the squash salad. Anybody make squash soup? Anybody make anything? No? Okay. I'm just teasing. Alright, so I got the zest. Got the juice. Does anybody not like cilantro? Because I'm going to put cilantro in here. Good on cilantro? Some people can't eat cilantro. Because it tastes like soap. That's right. Alright. Avocado. Everybody like avocados? Yep. I cut that right in half, like that. Take that out. Yep. There's a seed. This one it could probably use another day to ripen. Yeah. These are a little tough. So we're just going to cut down. When you buy avocado, if they're like this one, it should have set out overnight. You can set it on the counter. It'll ripen up for you. Normally the pit comes out really easy and the skin comes off easy as well. I'll clean the rest of those when we're done. Okay. Avocado, cilantro. Just going to chop that up. Take the stems off. Again, use whatever you have. Cilantro, lots of flavor here. And tomatoes. Tomatoes I'm just going to cut in half. Throw those in there. I don't have cayenne pepper today. I thought I did. I do have smoked paprika. We've used that before. But I think we'll just leave it out. We have a lot going on with all those different flavors, so I think we're okay. These are great. Yeah. Nope. Just what they had. Cherries are great, especially in summertime if you're growing your own. Good stuff. Yeah, or even if you have whole tomatoes, somebody gave you beef steaks or whatever you have, just you can dice them up. I'm just gonna toss that. That's looking nice. I will put that on a bed of lettuce for you guys. We're gonna toss that with the ranch. Should be pretty good. Okay. So that's your salad. The soup, okay. We're gonna finish that up real quick with coconut milk. Look at that right in there. That's a unsweetened, okay? Just double checking myself. We don't want sweetened coconut milk in our soup. Okay. Right into the blender. All right. This is where things can get scary. Huh? Just please be careful. Anytime you put hot liquid in a blender, please be careful. Okay? I did. Yeah, I don't want to. It's dirty. So we're going to. There we go. Well, I thought we were going to go. Maybe we're not. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulsing it. Okay? Okay. There we go. There's some corn bits in there, but that's okay. There's our soup. That's thick enough for me. Again, if you wanted it thicker, this is the point where you would heat this back up, right? Get it simmering. You make your cornstarch, maybe 2-3 tablespoons in a bowl. Same amount of cold water, equal parts cornstarch, cold water. Whisk it up. When that's simmering, slowly pour in your cornstarch, and it would tighten it up for you. If you added potato to the original process, a peeled potato, that would thicken it up as well. Or if you had pumpkin or something you wanted, any kind of vegetable would would thicken that up. We're going to taste that, and then yep. Nice. Okay. Yep. I think that's good. Questions on the soup? No. You guys are experts. You got it? Looking for a ladle. I blame Kip. She did. She did. Okay. Okay, so with the salad, like I said, we're going to add, I'll put the lettuce on the bottom. I'll just put the ranch with this. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll just put the salad. If I was serving it at home, I would do something like that, and then put that on top like that. That's what we're going to do today. What would I garnish the salad with? The soup? Maybe some herbs, cilantro, green onion, or something like that. Yep. That's what I would do. Yeah. I'll start with the soup. No, we can do it. I can do it, and you guys can just pass it out. Yep. I'll give you one cue at the end to show. So quiet.
I know it is really quiet today.
I didn't want to take the time. I'm gonna throw more in there for you guys. It's hard to stand up here and have everybody watch you like do the same thing over and over and over again. So I try not to get too repetitive, and that's why I like to shuck the corn before you get here. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I picked those up exactly. See, I knew you guys would call me out on that. Awesome. Yeah, it's corn. Tastes like corn. Believe it or not, this soup's actually pretty good chilled as well. You want to eat it cold? Yeah. With some chilled shrimp on top. There you go. Okay. Yep. You saw it. We didn't put any sugar or anything in it. That's just summer corn doing its thing.
Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. If you're interested in other live or recorded programs, please visit the online program tab of our website, cscatlanta.org. Or follow us on Facebook. We'll be sharing additional information on upcoming programs.